Hello everyone! In this lesson we are going to model the helix of our plane, okay? And for this I'm also going to start by creating a simple cylinder. So I can use the Shift-A shortcut, and in the Mesh submenu I'm going to click on Cylinder. As we can see now, as my 3D cursor was in the center of the scene when I created the cylinder itself was created precisely in the center of the scene. But don't worry, because we are going to position it in the right place in a few moments. And now, just after the creation of the cylinder, we are going to set up the number of sides here in the Properties panel. And so that it matches the design of the airplane, I'm also going to set the number of sides of this cylinder to 8. Just remember that to use this Properties panel, you have to do it just after the creation of the object, okay? So now we can activate the Move tool up here in the toolbar and move the cylinder in the Y-axis to the front of the airplane, okay? I'm going to move it a bit further so we can have this space between them. Now I need to rotate the cylinder so it gets in the horizontal position, and to this I'm going to activate the rotation tool, and I'm going to click on the red axis with the Ctrl key pressed so that I can rotate the cylinder with the interval of 5 degrees. This way I can pay attention to this number in the upper left corner of the 3D view and stop rotating when it reaches more or minus 90 degrees. So now I have this new cylinder perfectly aligned with the Y-axis of the airplane, because I created it in the same position of the airplane. But it might happen that for any reason one of these objects is not in the center of the scene. And for this project it's very important that this new cylinder is perfectly aligned with the center of the whole of the airplane. And for us to do that, I'm going to show you a way that we can use to align any object to any selection of any other object. And to exemplify, I'm even going to select the cylinder and move it a bit up and a bit to the side so that I can show you how this alignment works, okay? And now, to start the alignment, we are going to select the target object, which is the airplane, and we are going to enter the Edit mode by going up here to the Interaction Mode menu, okay? And we are going to use the Vertex Selection mode, okay? So up here in this region, we are going to click and activate the Vertex Selection mode, okay? It needs to be the Vertex Selection mode. Now we need to select all these vertices inside this hole, okay? We need to select the vertex that will be the target of the alignment. So we are going to select all of them, and when we are in the vertex selection mode, okay, and with any selection done, we can right click anywhere in the 3D view to open this context menu, and here we are going to use this Snap Vertices submenu, and here we are going to use this Cursor to Selected command. This command will bring the 3D cursor precisely to the center of this selection, okay? And now that the 3D cursor is precisely in the center of the selection, we can exit the Edit mode by going back to the Interaction Mode menu and clicking on Object Mode, okay? Now we can select the helix object, the cylinder that we just created, and to align the cylinder to the 3D cursor, we are going to click on with the right mouse button, and we are going to the Snap menu, and here we find the Selection to Cursor command, okay? This command will move the selected object precisely to the position of the 3D cursor. So to summarize, we needed to use two commands. We need to use the Cursor to Selected command inside the Edit mode, and then we select the other object and use the Selected to Cursor command to move the object to the 3D cursor. This way we can be sure that the object that we just created is precisely aligned with the center of the airplane, okay? And now we can start to work on the modeling of the helix. To do this, we can enter the edit mode up here, and I'm going to start by matching the scale with the size that I want. So I'm going to activate the scale tool, and I'm going to click and drag down a bit more until it is a bit smaller than the original hull of the airplane. And now we can start to use the modeling tools of the edit mode so that we can shape this object to that round form of the point of the helixes of this kind of airplane. Okay? To do this, I'm going to activate the face selection mode up here, and I'm going to activate the extrude tool, extrude region tool, and I'm going to select only this face in the front of the cylinder, and now I can click on this icon and drag a bit to the front, just like this, just a bit like this, okay? Now I can activate the scale tool and scale down it just a bit. For this first loop, we are going to scale just a bit, okay? Don't scale it too much like this. We are going to do it in the next loops. So now I can activate the extrude region again, create a new extrude, and now to create that round form, I'm also going to activate the scale tool again and click and drag down a bit, like this. Now I'm going to activate the extrude again, create one last extrusion and scale it down, this time a bit more, so that it gets with this point look that we have in the helixes of this kind of airplane. And now I can actually start to work on the blades of the helixes, okay, that go out from this center part to the sides. So I can activate the select box tool, and I'm going to select these two faces up here with the shift key pressed, and keeping the shift key pressed, I'm going to select these two faces on the other side, okay? Now I can use the inset faces tool down here, and I'm going to click and drag down to create this narrow shape with these faces. Now I can activate the extrude along normals tool by keeping the extrude button pressed. I'm going to activate the extrude along normals tool, and I'm going to click and drag until it reaches more or less this size here, okay? But as we can see, it got too big in the z-axis. So to correct this, we can select the scale tool in the toolbar. Okay, so I can start by selecting the scale tool, and I'm going to scale it down in the z-axis, just like this. And I can also scale it on the y-axis, so it gets thinner in the point. Now I can activate the move tool and move these polygons back a bit in the y-axis until it reaches more or less this shape that we are seeing. And now, before we move on the creation of the details of the helixes, we are going to twist a bit the point of these blades precisely to reach that helix shape of the object. So I'm going to activate the select box. I'm going to clear the selection clicking anywhere on the 3D view, and I'm going to select only the two faces of one of the sides of one of the blades, okay? I'm going to keep the other clear. Now I can click on this red ball to position the 3D view in one of the sides. I'm going to activate the rotate tool, and I'm going to click in the red axis and rotate it with the Ctrl key pressed, so it rotates with the interval of 5 degrees. For this case, I'm going to to rotate it 30 degrees, okay? Just to remember and repeat the same angle on the other side. So I'm here, I'm rotating it counterclockwise, and in the other blade of the other side, I'm going to select those two polygons over there. Now I can position the 3D view in this side by clicking on this red circle with the X. And now I'm going to click and drag the X-axis again with the Ctrl key pressed, and I'm also going to pay attention to use 30 degrees, okay? So now we have the points of the helix twisted, and now it is with the shape of a real helix, okay? And now we can start to create that drop shape that we have in the helices that grows a bit and then shrinks in the two sides. And to do this, we are going to use the loop cut command. So I can activate here in the toolbar, and I can click in one of the helices and increase the number of cuts to 2 here in the properties panel. And now I can repeat the procedure in the other side by clicking and increasing the number of cuts. And with this we have 2 loops in each side, in each blade, okay? Now we can select all of them with the Shift key pressed and scale it a bit on the Z axis, okay? And with this we reach this drop look in the blades, okay? And with this I believe that we can consider the modeling of the helix done. So I can leave the edit mode now by going to the interaction mode menu and going back to the object mode, and that's it. In the next lesson, we are going to see how to create and apply the materials of the object, of the airplane, okay? So don't go away, keep there. Thank you, and I see you on the next lesson.